Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to Wolfinia. This is episode 288 of my Minecraft survival series. Last episode, we spent some time refreshing some of our old builds here. We also spent some time replacing our old beacon fountains with the new Wolfen's Laboratory power towers. And now, I think it is about time for us to return to the crown. Now, there is a reason why we did what we did last episode. The power towers here contain our beacons, as you can see. You know what? Ignore that one right there. That one's not done yet. But the power towers contain our beacons, right? And there are beacons emanating from the crown, as you can see. And these beacons are going to need their very own power towers. Now, before we worry about the power towers here for the crown, I think our first step is to go ahead and get a roof in over the crown. Now, as far as our roof goes, I think we're going to keep it pretty simple. I think we're just going to use these spruce slabs and stairs here and just cover this whole thing up, and that'll be that. And the reason why I want to go with the spruce is simply because that's what we topped our wall walkways with here. Just trying to keep everything cohesive. Now, as far as these power towers go, I'm thinking we're probably going to keep these in keeping with the design of the crown rather than the green fountain power towers we were working on last episode. I think ultimately that would look better, and we'd already done something similar with the spires here, which also contain beacons. I think we're also going to need a few more beacons. Ow! And at this point, I think we got everything we're going to need to get started. So let's go ahead and call the drone on over here, put on a little bit of music, and get a roof on the crown.
You hear your name in everything you found and all that's around. Visions you see when you're asleep, feel like home somehow. Don't you know you're awake right now? Can't you hear your name in everything you found and all that's around? Visions you see when you're asleep, feel like home somehow. Don't you know you're awake right now?
Welcome back, everybody. At this point, the main structure, the main body of the crown is finished. We got a roof on this thing. We got our little skylight right here, which, on top of adding a little bit more interest to the roof, which is otherwise plain, adds some ambiance to the interior here and gives us a nice little bit of natural light throughout all floors of the crown. In addition to that, we completed our power towers here, which, as we stated, was going to be a little bit different in design from these power towers throughout the rest of Wolfinia, though they do serve the same purpose, providing us with plenty of power throughout our city. Aside from that, there's not really too much to talk about. The roof itself is pretty plain. It's just these spruce stairs and slabs. But we can take a look at the completed crown now from the waterside entrance. And I like it. Though I guess the dual spires here do kind of hide the power towers a little bit. But still, I like it. So we've got the interior of the crown done. We've got the roof on. We've got the exterior done. I think the crown itself is almost done with one small exception. That being the penthouses of Mr. Wolfen's here in the dual spires. We will get around to that very soon, I'm thinking. But we're going to hold off on that for now because I want to focus on the firehouse. The firehouse is going to need an interior, and it's about time we got it done. We're going to need an interior to this shaft right here that houses a fire pole, though our options may be limited as far as what we can do. We're going to need an interior to the garage here. And if you join me upstairs, we'll just round the outside of this building real quick. We're going to need an interior to the barracks here, which houses our firefighters. In addition to that, we'll do a little bit to the exterior because I'm going to want to build a firefighting wagon here. So that way the water from our water tower actually has someplace to go instead of spilling all over my floor. So give me a moment while I gather some stuff. I think one of the things we're going to want is we're going to want to put some kits together for our firefighters. That way they have all their gear ready to go should they be called upon. All right, I'm thinking we're probably good, and if not, we can always fly back over here and just grab whatever we need. So at this point, let's go ahead and call the drone on out here once more. Put on a little bit of music, and finish up the firehouse. Welcome back, everybody. At this point, our firehouse is finished. So we can go ahead and take a look at it real quick, starting up here at the watchtower, which we get to by circling up these stairs here surrounding the outside of the tower. That'll lead us up here where we can keep watch over various areas in our city, including the most vulnerable area of our city, the farm district here. And if we were to see a fire out here, what we would do is go this way, ring the bell, and then slide down our fire pole. I dressed this area up a little bit so it wouldn't look so plain. It's not great, but you know what? It'll do. And that leads us into the garage, which is now dressed up a little bit. I have the gear stored in cabinets down here in the garage because there wasn't enough room in the bunks to put all this stuff. But you know what? It's easily accessible and I like it. Now, as far as the actual bunks goes, let's go ahead and make our way back upstairs to the barracks here. And this is the room that will house our 4 firefighters. As you can see, they have a lot of storage space here. We got our clock right there so they can tell what time it is. There's plenty of room for other personal belongings, stuff like that, you know. And then they also have easy access to the fire pole, which takes them back here to the garage. Now, once they are ready to go, they can make their way out this way. We have a little horsey right here. We brought some. Hello, I love you too. Yes, I do. We have our horses that we brought back here. We brought 2 of them over. The other one is right over here, hiding among the grass. Maybe one day the firefighters can do some lawn maintenance here. But once we need to go, we can bring our horses out this way. We can hitch them to the wagon right here and then take off into Wolfinia to go douse some fires. Now, as far as the wagon goes, we got buckets, we got ladders, we got tools galore. We've got plenty of storage space around the back here. Basically, everything that we need, we have available to us, including a water tank at the top, which we can refill whenever we need to, so we can fill all the buckets we need to save any structures in Wolfinia that are threatened by the likes of fire. But I think that's about it for this place. I think we can now safely call the fire station here in the outer districts complete. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, one thing we are lacking here are actual villagers to act as firefighters. That's kind of necessary, right? So we do need to come up with a way to bring villagers over here to the outer districts, not just this outer district, but this outer district as well. We need to come up with a way to populate these areas. And you know what? Getting villagers to the outer districts might be very simple. It might be as simple as popping a little hole right here in one of our interior walls of the crown and hooking that up to one of our subterranean villager transportation tunnels. Then just letting the villagers come out here and wander, right? Because they do like to wander. You know what? I kind of like this idea. I do like this idea. And that should be easily replicatable on the other side of the crown as well. Ow. Let's just go ahead and make sure before we commit to this. You know what? That's going to be good. That's really good, actually, because this is right next to the firehouse, which means there's a high probability that we'll get some wandering over there. So this is actually excellent. In addition to that, I'm thinking it might also be a good idea to make a way for more villagers to get here into the business district, because right now we have a way for villagers to get to Dunder Minecraft, for them to get to the enchanted pickaxe, but the rest of the district is kind of bare. So I'm thinking what we could do to populate the streets here is repurpose our old storage building here in the business district and make that into a villager transportation drop-off as well. And then as far as the approach goes, I do have a way to get villagers over here to the Explorer's Lodge, but I have been saying I want more villagers out here populating the rest of the approach, right? So we might as well add that to our list of things to do. Okay, so as far as the approach goes, I'm thinking right here is probably a good place to bring them up. We can drop off the villagers right here at the center of this platform, which is pretty centrally located, and then they can just spread out throughout the approach. So we have a plan for villager transportation to the approach, to the business district, and to the outer districts via both sides of the crown here in the waterside district. And I need to also grab a new elytra. So while I'm doing that, we'll go ahead and call the drone on over here, put on a little bit of music, and then we're gonna get to work. Welcome back, everybody. At this point, we do have new villager transportation tunnels in throughout Wolfinia, and I do think the best way for me to actually show you the villager transportation tunnels is to actually get a villager and bring a villager to each of these areas that we've established the new tunnels in, right? So, let's go ahead and grab one for the approach. Now, this guy's been waiting to get to the approach for a while now. We're finally going to make his dreams come true. He's not going to be lonely over there, though. I did bring another villager over there earlier when I was building the tunnels, just to kind of test it out. So we'll bring him over there and go look for his friend. These are going to be kind of long boat rides, so we'll just kind of pick up the pace here, I think. We can hide that with our carpet just to keep it incognito, though I guess it's there's just one soggy bit of carpet right there. Anyway, the villager is going off to look for his friend. I don't know where he is. Just feel free to wander. I'm sure you'll find him eventually, or you can climb on stuff and trample my flora. That's always an option. Now, we will eventually populate the approach, but that's not our goal for today. We want to get the tunnels in, and I'm going to demonstrate the tunnels for you guys, and that's where we're going to have to call it. So we're going to kind of zoom through the rest of this process just to give you guys an idea of the tunnel layout. We got one in there. You with me? You're with me. All right. And you wait your turn. So there we go. We now can get everybody to where we need them, including this guy right here. Now, I wouldn't recommend that you actually hang out in the outer districts. There's not really much to do out there. It's safe. It's very well lit up. There's no monsters or anything. But the crown here is probably your best bet. We have the waterside district, you know, or you can hang out right there. That's fine too. We do have other villagers here in the waterside district though, so hopefully he doesn't get lonely. So major progress on the crown, major progress as far as getting our city populated. We will work on that more in the future, but that is all the time I have for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please be sure to hit that little thumbs up button. That would mean a whole lot to me. And if you want to see more of Wolfinia, please remember to subscribe. But as always, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I am blinking so much. There we go. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I deeply appreciate it. And until next time, I hope you enjoyed your stay here in Wolfinia. I will see you guys later.